Have you ever wondered why some people spend tens of thousands of dollars on a handbag or a suit? Is it just about status, or is there a hidden formula that makes these pieces worth more than a car or a year's rent? Spoiler alert, it is way more than just materials or craftsmanship. Today we are peeling back the velvet curtain to reveal the closely guarded secrets of the world's top luxury designers. Trust me, their genius goes beyond what you see on the runway. And believe me, the most mind-blowing part comes right at the end. You will not want to miss it. Before diving in, imagine a dimly lit atelier in Paris or Milan. The air is thick with the scent of leather and delicate fabrics. Tables are scattered with sketches that look like works of art. Bolts of fabric cascade from shelves, and the faint sound of scissors cutting through silk fills the room. Artisans sit hunched over, hands moving with meticulous precision as if every stitch holds a secret. This is where the magic happens. But it is not just in the craftsmanship. It is in the brilliant minds of the designers who dare to dream bigger. What makes their stories unforgettable? Let's break it down designer by designer, and I promise there is a twist in every tale. Point number 1, vision beyond fashion. The story of Coco Chanel. Let's start with a designer who did not just change fashion, she redefined it, Coco Chanel. In the early 20th century, women's fashion was all corsets and layers, restrictive and uncomfortable. Chanel took one look at that and said no. She introduced simple, elegant silhouettes that were both chic and functional. Gabrielle Bonheur Chanel, famously known as Coco Chanel, is one of the most influential figures in fashion history. She redefined women's fashion, challenged societal norms, and reshaped the idea of femininity itself. Her legacy transcends generations, from her revolutionary designs like the little black dress, LBD, and the Chanel suit to her iconic perfume, Chanel No. 5. But how did a girl from humble beginnings rise to dominate the world of luxury fashion? Born on August 19, 1883 in the small town of Saumur, France, Coco Chanel's early life was a far cry from the world of luxury and glamour she would later inhabit. Her family lived in extreme poverty, and her father, a street vendor, struggled to provide for his children. Coco Chanel's mother, Jeanne Devol, died when Chanel was just 11 years old. Coco Chanel's entry into the fashion world began humbly with hats. 1909, she moved to Paris and started working as a milliner, designing and selling hats. Her unique designs quickly caught the attention of fashionable women, and she soon became known for her simple, elegant hats, which stood in contrast to the extravagant headpieces of the time. In 1913, Coco Chanel expanded her business and opened boutiques in Deauville and Biarritz. Deauville, a chic seaside resort, was the perfect location for Chanel's relaxed yet elegant fashion vision. Unlike the rigid and uncomfortable clothing of the time, Chanel's designs emphasized comfort, simplicity, and elegance. She famously used jersey fabric, typically reserved for men's undergarments, to create casual yet sophisticated dresses that allowed women to move freely. In 1921, Coco Chanel launched what would become one of the most iconic fragrances of all time, Chanel No. 5. Unlike other perfumes that were composed of single floral notes, Chanel No. 5 was a complex, multi-layered fragrance with a blend of over 80 ingredients, including jasmine, rose, and sandalwood. Collaborating with perfumer Ernest Beau, Chanel aimed to create a scent that was not just a perfume, but an identity. But here is the twist. Chanel's true genius was not just in fabric. It was in branding. She created a lifestyle. From the iconic No. 5 perfume to the timeless little black dress, she sold more than clothes. She sold a dream. But did you know Chanel almost lost it all? Stay tuned, because her comeback story is nothing short of legendary. Point number 2. Obsession with perfection, Christian Dior. Next up, Christian Dior. When Dior launched his first collection in 1947, women wore the boxy, practical clothing of the wartime era. Dior said, "Enough of that." He gave the world the new look, cinched waists, full skirts, and an unapologetic return to femininity. But here's the secret. Dior was obsessed with perfection. Rumor said he would spend hours rearranging the pleats on a single dress until they were right. And this pursuit of perfection did not stop at fashion. Can you imagine being his friend? "Hey Dior, want to grab coffee?" "Hold on, these pleats are emotionally unstable." But Dior's path to fame was far from smooth. Stick around to hear about the betrayal that almost ended his career. Point number 3, the art of storytelling. Alexander McQueen. Now let's talk about a designer who did not just create fashion, he created theater, Alexander McQueen. His runway shows were legendary and often described as cinematic experiences. McQueen's career was marked by an unrelenting quest to push boundaries. His collections were more than just seasonal offerings. They were bold statements that often courted controversy and admiration in equal measure. Key aspects of his work included raw emotion and storytelling. McQueen's runway shows were not mere fashion displays. Each collection told a story, often infused with intense emotion and provocative themes. His ability to weave narratives into his designs set him apart from his contemporaries. Avant-garde, aesthetics, unconventional materials, silhouettes that defied norms, and innovative techniques characterized McQueen's work. He was not just designing clothes, he was challenging the very fabric of fashion. Masterful craftsmanship. Despite his experimental approach, McQueen mastered couture techniques. His meticulous attention to detail ensured that his creations were as impeccably crafted as they were conceptual. In 1996, McQueen launched his eponymous label, Alexander McQueen, and quickly became known for his provocative and theatrical runway shows. His shows were often characterized by their dark and controversial themes, incorporating elements of shock, fantasy, and storytelling. Between 2000 and 2010, McQueen's influence expanded globally with stores in London, New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Milan. Collaborations with Puma, the launch of McQueen, fragrances like Kingdom and My Queen, and a cosmetics line for MAC showcased his versatility. McQueen's accolades, including 4 British Designer of the Year titles and a CBE, underscored his indelible mark on the fashion landscape. But here is the real secret. McQueen was a master storyteller. He used fashion to explore identity, politics, and even mortality themes. One of his most famous shows featured models walking on a runway surrounded by fire. The message: rebirth. But McQueen's genius came with a heavy price. What drove him to greatness ultimately led to tragedy. I will share that heart-wrenching story soon. Point 4. Reinventing luxury. Virgil Abloh. Fast forward to the modern era, and you have Virgil Abloh, a trailblazer who broke all the rules. Abloh was not just a designer, he was a cultural force. He blurred the lines between streetwear and high fashion. Virgil Abloh was a visionary who redefined the boundaries of luxury fashion. One of his biggest inspirations was architecture, a field he studied at the Illinois Institute of Technology, IIT. Abloh was particularly moved by Rem Koolhaas's building at IIT, which sparked his interest in fashion. Here is the secret. Abloh understood that luxury was no longer just about exclusivity, it was about authenticity. He collaborated with brands like Nike and even IKEA to make luxury accessible without compromising creativity. Imagine telling someone in the 1990s that luxury fashion would someday include sneakers and Swedish furniture. Mind blown, right? But Abloh's rise to fame was not without its controversies. Stay tuned to find out how he navigated the critics. Point 5. Timeless elegance. Giorgio Armani. Finally, we have Giorgio Armani. Known for his clean lines and understated elegance, Armani revolutionized menswear and made power dressing a global phenomenon. The secret. Armani understood that less is more. His designs are never flashy, but they exude confidence and sophistication. But did you know Armani almost walked away from fashion entirely? What pulled him back was nothing short of extraordinary. So what sets these designers apart? Vision, obsession, storytelling, reinvention, and elegance. But perhaps the biggest secret of all is this: they never followed trends, they created them. Now I want to hear from you. Which designer's story resonated with you the most? Please share in the comments below. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you.